Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackie and welcome to today's extremely fun reading vlog, which I've been looking forward to film for over a month now, and I'm so excited to get to it. Now, ignore the fact that I'm starting this late, but for today's video, if you haven't already noticed, or if you've looked at my channel, even if you just go look at the videos I've posted, not just the title but maybe like the description box inside the video in itself, the thumbnails, when I reply back to you guys in my comments, I use a lot of emojis. I personally am like the most avid emoji user. I will use emojis to express my mood. I will put at the end of every message. I will just reuse and repeat them over and over again for every single reason, and I'll try to fit emojis wherever I can, even though they kind of don't belong there. And the thing with me is I actually have two sets of emojis I use all the time. One consists of like my personal permanent rotation, wherein these emojis, they suit any occasion. At this point I use them everywhere, and it's like my own little go-to emoji dictionary. And then my other rotation is essentially the seasonal ones. So whatever season it is of the year, if it's summer, I'm gonna have some summery emojis, I guess, so like a sun, or maybe like a palm tree, maybe like the beach, or maybe if it's like spring, I'm gonna have like flowers and more flowery tones. And so I thought, why don't I combine a book girlie's favorite things, my favorite things, fall and reading, and my fall emojis, and try to have my fall coded emojis pick my fall books for today's video. So let's just get into it. Now, looking at my keyboard, I've actually used 8 fall emojis recurringly, like a lot, because they're in my top few, and I'm gonna have them on screen for you. And while I won't be using each of these emojis to pick a book for this video, I will try to get through at least 4 of them in part 1 of this vlog, and then part 2, if you guys want it sooner, I'll try posting it in this month itself, maybe a little later, or I'll try keeping it for next year's fall, so we have like a tradition to look forward to. And essentially, if you can't already tell, I'm going to use one of these emojis that are on screen for you right now, and I'm going to use them to pick a book for myself. So my fall emojis pick my fall books, and we're going to try to read them and see if the fall emojis did like a good job of picking like my next read. So already looking at this, Halloween has passed, but I wanted to start this video a little before, so I used the witch emoji because that's the most obvious one, at least in my head, for Halloween, especially with the costumes going around this year. And I used that to pick our first book for the video, which is The Wicked Deep. Now, I am quite the few far way into this book because I've been listening to it over the past week whenever I'm like doing errands, working, making thumbnails for YouTube, just doing stuff I need to be doing. So I'm very far through it, and I think I don't have a lot left. So what I want to do right now is quickly go finish that out. I hope it doesn't count as cheating, but like technically I'm reading a book anyway, and I want to go finish that. I'll come speak to you guys in a little bit about my thoughts on it, and then we'll pick the next emoji that we use to correlate with the book. My goal is to kind of relate at least the emoji to what the book is about, or maybe something on the cover, and I don't know, hopefully that's gonna help. Hopefully it's not as hard as I think it is, because some are so hard to find. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we shall see, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye! Hi guys, so it's the next evening. Since the last time I spoke to you, I have since finished our witch book, but I'm gonna be fast with my update because it's later, as you can tell, and I've actually ordered pizza. It's coming in maybe 10 minutes, so I want to be really quick and then I'll go wait for it. Essentially, The Wicked Deep, the book I finished yesterday, I started it a couple of days before Halloween to get into the spooky vibes, the witchy spirit or whatever, and essentially I don't think I gave you like a summary. So it follows these 3 sisters. They lived in the town of Sparrow, I think like 2 centuries ago, but they were drowned or executed because they were suspected witches. So now, all these years later, they actually come back in the week of June to terrorize the people of Sparrow. Essentially, they take these boys and lure them out to the harbor, and then they drown them in the same way they died to get their revenge. And these 3 sisters, they've been doing it for 2 centuries now. Current perspective, you're kind of following this girl called Penny Talbot, and you're trying to figure out what she's trying to learn about these witches, because it happens every year. They're kind of sick of it, the town. They're trying to catch these women. And it's a very interesting book because this year, the only difference is there's actually a new guy who comes from the outside. So there are tourists who obviously come during the season, but Penny starts falling for this guy Bo, and now she has to decide whether she wants to keep him away from the island because it's not safe for him, or if she wants him to stay because she loves him. And then there's all these other things going on, there's plot twists and stuff, but I guessed it and it was pretty boring to me. I think I may have mentioned that because it didn't feel like much was happening. Like if I didn't guess the plot twist, maybe I would have liked it better, but it felt monotonous to me. I didn't really like the vibe, and honestly, so far every witchy book I've read in my life, so this one this year, I think I read The Irregular Society or something of witches last year. It was like a blue cover or whatever. It's very popular this year for some reason. I haven't really liked any of them, so I'm scared witchy books are not for me, but I think I'll just keep trying till I actually find something I enjoy. So if you've got recs for that, let me know in the comments. But since then I started 2 books, so one on audio and one on my Kindle, again correlating with the emojis. I have started What You're Looking For Is in the Library, which has a cat on the cover, correlating with our cat emoji on audiobook. And this book essentially follows this like librarian in Tokyo, and there's all these like short stories divided into like chapters wherein there are these people, they go to the library and they kind of go to her for book recs, and she gives them one book rec which is out of the question of what they are asking. So the second story that I'm on right now, the guy, he's having issues wherein he's not really satisfied with his work or whatever, so he wants books on how to start a business. But then along with the business book recs that she's giving him, she gives one extra book rec out of the ordinary that doesn't correlate with what he asked for. And then when these people read these books, their lives kind of get changed in just mundane ways, and it basically shows how a good book rec can change your life. And I love that concept, honestly. I love the cat. I think it very much also correlates to the current short story I'm reading in it. It's chapter 2, but they all like connect in the sense that they go to the same librarian, these people. And so it's very interesting to me how people's lives get changed with books, and I'm loving that. Hi guys, so I'm so sorry about that. The pizza, it came early, I had to go run down to get it. But now that it's here and I'm so excited to go eat it, I'm gonna quickly just finish my update with you. Again, sorry, it was like a bit of like a messy pacing. I don't even know what, but I don't remember what I was talking about. I think I was just saying I really like the book I was talking about, What You're Looking For Is in the Library. I just love the way it talks about the influence on people's lives and the life lessons it teaches in such subtle ways. But the way it went, I have only so far finished the first short story in it, the first chapter, and the second one I'm halfway through it, and already they're so small, but they're building such significant pictures and stories about these people's lives and teaching you a little lesson that honestly I'm loving it. I'm gonna read at this point anything the author writes, and this is very much looking up to be very highly rated. Now the other book I started it on Kindle last night because I was getting bored. I like reading before I go to bed. It's become like a new habit I've come up with, and I wanted something, so I figured why don't we use a pumpkin emoji to look for something, which is so funny because while I see these emojis everywhere, or I've been seeing them in the past like weeks or so because of fall, I haven't been able to find books relating to it. That's why I picked a literary fiction for the cat, because I don't really enjoy it. Sometimes I need something to really be hard hitting for me to like love it for literary fiction. But then like I was forced to do so because I wasn't finding options, and for pumpkin I literally couldn't find anything until I figured I was being dumb, because the one book that has gone absolutely viral this fall is called Pumpkin Spice Café. It's got pumpkins on it, it's got pumpkin in the title. It's kind of perfect for me, and that's what I'm reading on Kindle now. So I started last night, it's like a few chapters in, and it essentially follows this girl called Jeannie. She's new in the town. She kind of like inherits her aunt's little Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and she's come there to kind of run it, but she's like a city girl, so she's new to all of it. She's trying to figure her way around. And then there's Logan, who's a farmer of the town, except he kind of delivers like vegetables and stuff to Jeannie for the cafe every Thursday. I'm not even sure because I'm not that far in, but it's so cute because they, from the start, they really like each other, but there's reasons that they can't get together, and so you see them kind of fawning over each other, but then they can't be together. And then along with that, there's this whole other cast of side characters in the town who are obviously going to get their own books in the future. And I think that's so perfect because I've got more of a series to look forward to. Isn't that the best thing ever? And then apart from every other book that we're getting, you've got the like quirky small town, and it's like cozy, and there's all these people who know each other like their entire lives, and it's all interconnected, and everyone knows everyone, everyone's friend, and she's, you know, getting to fit in with all these people. They're like welcoming her in, and you know, it's just giving perfect fall vibes. I don't know what it is about a small town. I'm gonna associate it with fall, and for some reason the very first few chapters I read, read, I'm thinking about Chestnut Springs. I don't know why. Maybe because that's the only like small town series I've read or have started reading that I'm actually enjoying. Because anything else I've read small town, I haven't liked it, even though I love the small town aspect. But then this book is doing it so well for me because I've only read fantasy back to back for a different video, which should be out probably not, I don't know. But whenever it comes out, basically I've only been reading fantasy for the past month or so, and so it feels very refreshing to read a romance, especially when you know they're both pining from each other from the start and they're gonna get together at the end, obviously, because it's gonna have a happy ending. And there's all these tropes and it's all just so perfect. I don't know, it's cheesy, it's cute, and that's what I need in the moment. So I'm really excited to go read both of my books. I'm having a good time with them, but I'm gonna go have my pizza now because I'm really hungry as well. See you guys in a bit. Hi guys, so it's been a few days since my last update to you. I believe it was the night I was ordering pizza, and it's the next week actually. I think it's like Monday, or technically it's Tuesday because it's past midnight. And the funniest part is I ended up going out for pizza again later that week. It was like a family dinner, so I had like another pizza. You probably don't care, you came for book updates, but I just wanted to say it was one of the best weeks of my life because the dinner was just amazing. And since then, right now, I have actually managed to finish listening to What You're Looking For Is in the Library. I did take a few days to read this book or take some time to kind of listen to it and, you know, absorb the meaning of it because it felt so deep. And honestly, I'll be so real with you, I broke it up over all these days because every time I'd pick this book up and read it, I felt so motivated and inspired to just be productive that I thought if I, you know, extend my read of it, I'll be productive for more days, which I mean that worked out really well for other things, but it didn't really work out for updates. So I'm here right now. I came to say I finished the book, and I think what I did actually about breaking it up and reading it slowly to be productive, try not to do that. I would personally not recommend you do that because there are so many references in each story to other characters from other stories, and not like huge deep references wherein they know each other and they're part of the same friend group or anything. It's just passing references. Like in the first book, there's the girl, she goes to I think like a computer learning class, and then in the last story, the computer learning class, the teacher of that class, it's about her husband, and it connects in such weird funny ways that you're trying to figure it out. And because I read it over so many different days, I would forget the names of the characters or just not remember, and then I had to go back to check who was who, and it did take longer, and I don't think I got the full experience out of it because of what I did. So please don't do that. But regardless, I'm giving this book 4.25 stars. I really just think what sealed the deal for me was the fact that some characters appeared in other stories and they kind of got like a conclusion, but it wasn't like a happy ending. Like it wasn't the stereotypical they succeeded in whatever they were trying, their endeavors, and they got what they needed, they got what they wanted. It was like a hopeful, I think like a definitive thing wherein, you know, they have something to look forward to in the future, which is really what is accurately portrayed from the basis of like real life, which I really enjoyed. But I don't think I really connected to any of the stories from the third one onwards. So the first two I really enjoyed, but then the third, fourth and fifth, because it wasn't really appealing to me as like the audience, you know, I'm not in that age category, or I haven't been through certain events in my life to have to, you know, connect with them. But I still had a good time reading, which is why I'm giving it 4.25 and not 5 stars. But I will say, upon a reread, I'm thinking like maybe 20 years down the line, I will 100% end up rating this book very, very high, maybe even a 5 stars, because that's gonna be the point in my life wherein it's actually supposed to be for me rather than right now. And I still do appreciate it, but I think I'll like find its meaning more profound at the time, which is why I'm thinking that way. But regardless, if you're reading it, like try to read it in a couple of sittings as much as you can, no pressure, but really that's the way you will, derive all the fun goodness out of it, from all the characters meeting up and then growing over all these stories, and then the connections that are made. And I really enjoyed that. It was a sweet, cute, fun, cozy read. I think it's really good for this time of the year as well, but you can read it anytime. And that's us finishing our cat emoji book. Now moving on next to Pumpkin Spice Cafe updates. Since the last time I spoke to you, I actually, like I said, I went to the family dinner, and the place we went to, right opposite there was a bookstore. So if I haven't already mentioned, I think last week was the week I started filming for this video, but the week before that I had kind of like a down off week wherein I was trying to finish other videos, but like it wasn't so hectic that I could do nothing else. So in the week 2 weeks ago, before I started recording this video, I actually went to like 4 different bookshops to search for a physical copy of this book because it's so cute, and I didn't find it. And then when I went to the bookshop opposite the place we were having dinner, they had 1 copy left and it was damaged. I'm so sad, I don't even know what to say. But then the ones in the bookshop, they had the whole series, and I think what I'm trying to ascertain right now is if I really enjoy the series, I'm gonna go ahead and get it, because I'm trying this year not to buy books I don't enjoy or just directly buy books. I'm trying to read them first on like Kindle or audio, and if I like it, I'm gonna get myself a physical copy. So that's what I'm doing here. I think right now what I want to go ahead and do, because I didn't buy it that day from the bookshop, I did want an intact copy that wasn't ruined. I'm trying to now get this book read so I can go ahead and call for like a physical copy for myself, because I usually watch American booktubers. Keep in mind I'm not American, so I've seen their versions of the book, but this was the first time I saw my country's version of it in the bookshop, and it had like gold embossing of like leaves and shit, and that was so cute. I wish I could show it to you, but I did not have the right mind at the moment to take a picture because I was in such a dilemma about whether just getting it or not. And I do kind of regret not getting it, but at the same time, if I place my order right now on Amazon, it should come in over the weekend, and I think I can come in for like a late intro or outro, sorry, on the video and show it to you anyway. So I'm thinking about what to do on that, but basically right now I'm just trying to finish this book, get it done with, so I can call for the physical, because it's beautiful and I really think I want that in my life. I do believe I will be continuing the series because I'm really having like a good time. And I think last month reading so much fantasy like back to back with no breaks really fried my brain, and I really needed this. And I know it's like an insta-lovey book, but it's basically no plot, all vibes. And because of how tired I am of reading fantasy, don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. I'm loving my fantasy era. As soon as this video is over, I've planned another one wherein I'm just reading all fantasy. So don't get me wrong, but genuinely I'm so excited to like read romance in between fantasy, because it feels like a little brain break, and I'm having a good time getting into it. Like, yeah, they're attracted to each other from page 1. I don't really care. I'm having a good time. I reached 40% just now. I was reading on Kindle, and nothing really happened between them. It's dragging out a little bit, but regardless, it's like low stakes, it's cute, it's cozy. If you take away the fall aspect, there's literally no point to the book, but I'm having a good time regardless. And I'm getting the butterflies, I'm getting swoony, and I'm enjoying it. So it's all about if you enjoy the book or not. It doesn't really matter if it's got no inherent like meaning or whatever to it, because like, listen, I'm having a good time. I think that's really what matters. And I did go to Goodreads after I finished reading for tonight or whatever. I'm gonna go back to reading, don't get me wrong, but I went to Goodreads to check the book out, and guess what? As it turns out, people don't really like it. So I think this is the first time I'm in the side of, I think, the majority or the minority technically, who actually ended up enjoying the book. Usually I'm the one hating on it, but I think that's just because of my fantasy era. So if you're reading a bunch of fantasy, you want a palate cleanser, definitely check this book out. It's like amazing. It's got the vibes, it's got the spooky, cozy themes. I don't know, it's got the romance, it's got banter, it's got the cozy, quirky townspeople who interfere and they're nosy about everything, and I think that just brings such a nice, fun, I don't know, cozy aspect to it, wherein you have all these people, they're living together, the community cares for each other, and it's just a good old read, And I keep thinking while I'm reading the book that I wish I could move to the town, because the stuff they're doing, the fall activities, the vibes, the festivities are so cool that honestly I wouldn't mind living there, and the characters are so fun, so we could be friends. But that's me in my fictional fantasies, my delusions, whatever. And then the rest of the books follow the rest of the cast of characters that we've been introduced to, the friend group and whatever, and like I know I want to read everyone's book, so I think I'll be ordering the copies anyway. But apart from this little long story time, I did also end up starting another audiobook, because I feel like I always have like an audiobook going at the same time that I'm reading a book book physically or like electronically. It just helps me get through books faster. I don't know why. And I started the last book for the video. So we're going to be reading Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the last book, and then the video is over. And the last book I ended up picking up is called You'd Look Better as a Ghost, to correlate with a ghost emoji. Now I think I should have picked up a fantasy. This is technically cheating, but I really wanted to read this book since I've seen or heard things about it. And it basically follows this like female serial killer psychopath girly, and because there's like an email that's wrongly sent to her, she kind of gets mad. She loses her like cool or whatever, and she ends up going out with the guy and then, you know, unaliving him. She's actually followed or caught, I think, kind of that night. So then later she figures out that someone's on her trail of her killing all these people, because it's like an everyday thing for her. She's, you know, a serial killer, and now that someone's like onto her trail and someone saw her doing it to that guy Lucas Kane the first time, she needs to be careful. She needs to figure out her steps like properly or whatever, because someone's caught her and she could be in serious trouble because she's been doing it and she's been going at it since a long time. This year I've really been enjoying reading about like female serial killer books. I don't even know why. At this point I'm so confused as to whether or not people would enjoy it if I made a video just recommending books about female serial killers and, I don't know, female rage, and then how iconic and sarcastic it is. Don't get me wrong, killing is not a good thing, but when it's done fictionally and when they do it the way they do it and they do it correctly, it's a really fun kind of book, little subplot, subgenre to pick up and to like read or whatever. So I've been enjoying that a lot recently, and that's the reason I picked up this book. But I wanted to also quickly say I read this book earlier this year, because I've been reading lots of these books this year, which was actually sent to me on audio format. I think I read it in my 24-hour readathon back when I was on vacation. It's called Bad Men. And I think about maybe last week I've been buying books a lot again, but the ones I actually want to own, ones I've already read. So I'm gonna send like a book haul your way very soon as well. But in one of the book hauls or whatever, a book I ended up purchasing was actually a copy of Bad Men. So the audiobook was sent to me, but I bought this with my own money because it was such a good book. I think I want to reread it because I had such a fun time, such a fun, amazing time reading it, that I want like a physical copy in my life. And I just wanted to quickly say that book, which I'm reading right now, feels so reminiscent of this one, except she's more watered down and psycho in this one, and she has more urges to kill people who are innocent in this one, rather than in this one wherein her kills are more, I guess, timed and accurately done, but not to good people. That's why it's called Bad Men, to bad people. So that's just like a really fun comparison. If you want to read either of the books, you can go ahead and check them out. And I don't think I have a lot left on this one. Again, people are not enjoying it very much on Goodreads, but then I'm having the best time. I think I have only a couple of hours left on my sped up audiobook, so I will be finishing that book tonight or maybe tomorrow morning at the very least. I'm having such a really good time. The plot twists in this book are crazy. I think the main like vague summary that I gave you at the beginning is very much straight away from what's going on right now, and it's gone so much deeper and so much crazier that I'm having a good time. People aren't liking it, but genuinely this book is hilarious. It's funny, it's borderline, like it's just surface, but like the way it's done is so cool, and like I'm having a good time. So maybe these kinds of books are for me, and I'm gonna go keep listening to it, reading Pumpkin Spice Cafe on my Kindle and enjoying, I guess. I also ended up uploading the video that needs to go out for this week last night, so I have literally nothing to do this week apart from reading these books and, you know, finishing this video off so it can go up next week, which is really amazing as well, because I don't have to worry about work now. I can just read, and that makes it so much better. So I'm gonna go read now. This has been a really huge update, but I needed to catch you up on everything that was going on right now. I'm gonna go finish some books now. So I'll come in next, I think very soon, hopefully tomorrow, to give you a new next little book update, and then we can get on with the video. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, so it's been another couple of evenings since my last update to you. I'm sorry I keep saying that in every single video, but it's happening right now because of like the dumbest reason ever. Since my last clip to you, I actually got down with a cold. I'm still recovering, and you know, it was for the dumbest reason ever. I decided I'm gonna have ice cream, and the place where I'm living at, we are in complete winter right now. It's 6 in the evening and it's so dark outside. In my head I'm just like, oh my god, it's fall, it's autumn, I don't really care, I'll be fine. No girl, you weren't fine. I had the ice cream, I got a cold. Who's got to deal with my stuffy voice right now? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bear with it. But anyway, I did end up finishing You'd Look Better as a Ghost. Now, in comparison to the last little book I showed you the last time I updated, Bad Men, this definitely feels like a watered down version of that girl, wherein she was so fleshed out in that book. However, over here, you are given her backstory of her childhood, and she goes through a lot during that time, and yeah, it's sad. So you do get to see a bit of backstory there, but there's no other inherent reasoning as to why she's doing it, because she's already doing it at that point. And then apart from that, there was no other character that was fleshed out, and she talked shit about every single person, and she had all these different names for them, even though they didn't specifically do anything wrong. The last little ending wherein you finally found out who was behind it all, who saw her, what went down really. It definitely went away from the original storyline and the plot, and it went away in the weirdest spiral ever, because that was not really what I expected. But then also, if you weren't set up to expect that either, you had a certain range of options, and I feel like if subtle hinting was done, this is my problem with literally every single mystery thriller I read at this point. If you are keeping someone at the end of your book as your main plot reveal, whatever, I need subtle clues throughout the book pointing to that person. I don't want someone randomly just thrown in there out of left field because you thought, oh, it's gonna be the best plot twist ever, and then I read it and I'm just like, I forgot this person even existed. That wasn't really very fun. But apart from that, I mean, it was a good read. She's just mean to everyone. She's sarcastic about everything. She's an anti-hero. I love reading about those books. And despite the fact that not everyone was very built out, it is a humorous book. And if you take it for what it is, it's a fictional novel. You don't really have to be so serious about the serial killing or whatever. That aspect was so funny. Apart from that, I feel like I wish there was a better conclusion to this book. I wish the ending was more definitive, because I mean, there was stuff said, but then the way it was described, I wish a couple of other different characters who were built up from the beginning as, actual evil villains were given more of a storyline ending fitting to them, because you did see everything that went down with our main girl, and you did see how, the story ends with her and her getting her happy ending or whatever. I don't want to spoil it for you. And then all of the other prevalent side characters also got a certain conclusion, but I still wish the main evil inherent villains that were built up from page 1 and then forgotten halfway, I wish they also got some sort of ending. So I'm not going to say this was very definitive or conclusive, but it was a good book to read, and I honestly had a fun time reading it. I was literally just giggling, so I don't even know why I'm complaining. Maybe it's because of the cold. I'm going to give this book 3.5 stars. It was a good read, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, but if you want to read a book about anti-heroes, the book I said earlier, Bad Men, that book, I want to go reread it again because of how good it was. And if you're reading, you can definitely check out the audio as well. That's what I heard it on the first time, and it was so well done. So that's for recommendations. And then finally, for the last book I'm supposed to be reading for today's vlog, because this was the ghost book, the pumpkin book. So Pumpkin Spice Cafe, I did fall sick, keep that in mind. And I also was busy trying to, so I think I'm just going to say it now because there's no other platform where I've addressed it yet. I believe I'm doing Bookmas this year, unless something goes wrong again with my health or whatever. It looks like I'm going to be doing Bookmas, which is so fun. But then I don't want it to be like last year, wherein I look at everyone doing Bookmas, and then on December the 3rd, already into Christmas festive time, I decide, I want to do Bookmas as well. That's not happening this time. I'm planning in advance. But then also, I don't want it to be in the sense that, I've planned so bad that it falls apart again. Because last time, I think I uploaded the first 4 or 5 vlogs, and then all the rest of them, I put them up in January, because filming is not a huge deal for me personally. Editing is that problem for me, because I wouldn't say I'm very good at it, but also it takes very long for me to edit. And if you've noticed current videos or whatever, you will see I used to cut a lot of stuff back in the day. You'd see a cut every single time I finish with a line. But then right now, you saw I took that pause. I did not cut that out, or at least I think I didn't. I don't know. If future me cuts it out, that's her problem. If I didn't cut it out, that's because I'm trying not to cut in between every single pause, because it takes so long to edit. It takes such an incredibly long time to get videos up if I'm doing that every single sentence. Or maybe 1.5 hour worth of content, 1 hour worth of content, that's a lot. So because I wasn't able to post in time last time, this time I want to get the videos filmed in November so I can edit them throughout December and have them up for you. But I'm just gonna say it again as a quick announcement. I actually have exams. That's the reason I wasn't sure if I'm doing it or not. Start towards the end of November and they end on the 13th of December, I believe, which is kind of perfect because the day they end, I'll start posting and I think I'll be doing the second half of Christmas. So you know how people do the first 12 days? I'm doing the next 12 days. I'll go between 13th to 24th or 14th to 25th, something like that. You'll be getting Bookmas regardless, and so for that I am busy recording other videos at the same time while I'm doing this. So I haven't got a lot of progress down for you in Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm still 55% of the way through. I think that's a little more than the last time I updated, and things are finally starting to happen between the characters. Last time I came at like 40%. It just started, and then now nothing has really progressed. They just, you know, have admitted to liking each other and, you know, acting on it, I guess, but like nothing crazy has happened so far. A lot of developments in terms of town stuff has happened, so that's fun to read about because everyone's so quirky in the book. I love it, but there's no like genuine huge update that I'm here to give you for the book. It's just, again, I'm enjoying the vibes. If you take away the fall, I don't really think I'd enjoy the book, but then also it has the fall and I'm here for the vibes. There's no plot to it, honestly, but the vibes are perfect. I think I'm just gonna rate it on the basis of that. And so I'm just gonna go sit because I have to recover, you know. I'm gonna read for the next couple of hours at least. Hopefully I can get through like a decent percent, because I do believe today is Thursday and the vlog needs to go up, this one, on Sunday. So let's see if I can get through this book. Amazon is definitely not delivering before this video goes up because I haven't placed my order yet. I'm very indecisive, but maybe by the next like 10%, if I'm finalizing on whether I want the book physically, which I believe I still do, I'll call for it in the next vlog, not this one, the one that comes out after, when the books come in next week. I'll hopefully show you what they look like physically, because they look perfect. They look better than this photo over here, and so even if I don't enjoy the book, I just want to own it because it's beautiful. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong. Small Town is done correct in this book. I'm having the best time ever. I'm eating it up. I think like reading a bunch of fantasy before it really contributed to that. But regardless, that was the hugest update of my life. All in all, to say, book progress is being made. Bookmas is gonna happen for me. Crazy stuff is going on. I also need to go plan for Bookmas now, so I'm gonna go do that and go record the other videos. So hopefully I'll see you guys soon and in a bit. I don't know if there'll be more updates for this book, because keep in mind I am trying to record like 12 other videos at the same time because I don't have a good attention span, which is why hopefully I'll see you once I'm done with the book, or hopefully I'll see you for more updates, but don't expect too many. So I'll be back in a bit, and bye guys. I spoke for 10 minutes and I didn't say what I wanted to say. When I was listening to You'd Look Better as a Ghost, I did end up painting my nails, but since I did, you know, I did them brown. I did them on Friday last week. It's been exactly a week since I painted them. I've had 2 everything showers, including washing my hair like I did today, which is why they're starting to chip. So I'm so mad, but also I did my nails brown while listening, and you know, I'm probably gonna get them off and like do them brown again or something, because I don't like the way they look anymore. So we shall see what I do, but I'll see you guys in a bit. For any of you guys, go ahead and ask the question. No, it is not the same day since the last time I updated. For context, it's now Sunday. This video needs to go up tonight. I just finished rough cutting and I finished Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the afternoon before I started to edit, because I knew I needed to get this video out anyhow. And so let's talk about my final thoughts on Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Now, before anything, I want to go ahead and say I am giving this book 4 stars. I do believe a lot of people on the internet don't like it right now, but this is just my own personal opinion, so you're gonna have to bear with it for now at least. Now, my reasoning behind this. Let's start with cons. I didn't like the fact that it was in 3rd person, the writing style, and I also didn't like the fact that the romance felt very off-paced. I feel like it was dragged for the reason of being dragged, for it to look like a slow burn and show all these abandonment issues, whereas really the problem could have been solved with better communication. And you know, the beginning, the way they just started fawning over each other, like, yeah, it's cool, it's low stakes, it's better than so many fantasy books wherein you have to wait for them to get together, but there's like a different kind of fun in that and a different kind of fun in this, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of fun in this to begin with. I'd just rather go with the fantasy. So I wish the romance was, you know, done differently, but I will continue reading the series because the way it's gone ahead is definitely hyped up the next books, the next Friends characters for me, and I am excited to get to them, because I do believe the second book, it follows Logan, our main character from this book, a couple of his best friends, and the girl in that, she owns a bookshop. The guy, he keeps going to her bookshop asking to like order books and stuff, not because he reads them, but because he wants an excuse used to see her. And so that's adorable to me. Obviously, I'm going to get to them. I believe there's like a Christmas book in the list as well. So I do want to get to that eventually as well, maybe next month. But that's for cons. Now for pros. I did enjoy the small town of this so much because I feel like the author definitely played into the stereotype of small towns and she did it really well. Even in the about the author section at the beginning of the book, it definitely did say that if you want to go live to Stars Hollow, which is the place where Gilmore Girls is set, or if you want Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls to get together sooner, this book is for you. But I haven't ever seen those, so I don't have those expectations going in, which also really helped the book, I think. And also it really felt like right book, right time for me. It felt like a Hallmark movie, a Hallmark Christmas movie specifically, with a mashup of Gilmore Girls, and surprisingly, it really hit very well for me. Now keep in mind, it hit because I was fried in the brain with fantasy and I'm ready to get back to fantasy. So if you're reading it, read it as a palate cleanser, not as something you read, happily, just like in the middle for the sake of reading it. Because it's a good book to read for that reason, but I feel like it doesn't have a lot for that reason as well. And keep in mind, if you're reading it, read it for the fall too, because the fall festivities in it, there was like a fall festival, there was like apple picking at Logan's farm. I do believe there was like a farmer's market as well. And so all of these side quests and side events and a couple of other cozy mysteries that happened during the book, that's what made the book for me rather than the romance in it, which it very much goes against the fact that it was a contemporary romance book to begin with. But I feel like the covers are cute. I'm gonna go ahead and buy my physical. Hopefully you'll see it soon in a different recommendations video. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and read it, definitely do while it's still fall outside, because otherwise it won't hit the way it hit for me. It was definitely right book, right time, like I said, because if it was read by me like at a different time in a bunch of other romance books, I don't think I would have liked it as much as I did just now while I was reading it from a break from fantasy. So that's it for my thoughts on Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I can't wait to read some of the other books of some of the other characters because I have a few favorites that I really want to get to. And the romance was dragged out in this, I hope it gets better in the others because I am looking forward to it, and the covers in this series are so cute that I really just want to get to it. So that's it for today's vlog. We have reached the end of today's video. I hope you guys had like a fun time coming along with me reading fall books picked by fall emojis. I'm so happy I did do this video because the fall emojis, the books that did end up getting picked, I wouldn't have normally gone for them or gone out of my way to read them off my TBR, and now that I have, even though I didn't really enjoy a couple of them, look, I found a couple of great reads too. I'm not complaining. I found a new series that I'm really invested in now, and I'll read in the middle of reading more brain powered fantasies, and that's just like a fun thing to get to. So that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do the YouTube things, you know how to do them, and I'll see you hopefully next week with another very fun reading vlog, which I'm really looking forward to filming as well. So I'll see you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye.